Good morning, everybody, and welcome to MarketStream.live. Happy April 9th. If you don't know me, my name is Joe Cusick. I work with the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock. And this is where I go over everything that's happened in the overnight session in Asia. And it's important to understand what's going on in Japan, China, Hong Kong, and India. These are market segments that you need to understand what's going on, because that's going to impact your whole portfolio, whether it's your 401k, your IRA, your individual account, 403b, whatever type of retirement account or larger account that you have for investment so that you can retire. You need to pay attention to this stuff, and I'm going to give it to you in less than 5 to 10 minutes. All right, let's jump in and take a look at what happened in Japan overnight. You can see that the Japanese index did finish down 0.25%. Why does that matter to you? It matters to you because Japan is, first of all, a very large exporter. Most notably, it exports cars. Yesterday, we were talking about how Toyota and Honda were to the upside by about 2% overnight in the session. Well, they actually pulled back this Tuesday, and you saw that Toyota and Honda both pulled back about 1%. That's in spite of the fact that they have a weaker currency. Their yen currency is trading to the downside. As a matter of fact, if you look at the ETF, FXY, it's telling you that their currency right now is very weak. That's a positive for exporters, specifically Japanese exporters, because the yen is their currency. That means that they can ship their goods over to places like Europe or the United States, and they're going to be able to be more competitive on their pricing because the buying power of the US dollar specifically is much better than the yen. So they're going to be able to bring their goods over here, be more competitive against something that's priced in dollars. For example, a Ford car or a GM car. You're starting to get it. You're starting to look for opportunities now, thinking, well, do I have to have exposure maybe in these countries, and specifically in these areas where they're net exporters, especially if their currencies are weaker. The consumer here in the United States is a big driver of not only domestic economic development, but also global. Also, what's notable is their bank governor, Kuroda, came out and said, hey, we will continue for as long as we need to, the current, how do I put it, like our federal, our FOMC, we will continue with our current monetary policy. They've had 0% interest rates and actually have dipped negative at times. So they will basically look to firm up this yen at this juncture at some point in time, and they will turn on their spigots yet again with their monetary easing and so forth. They have a lot of devices to do that. The point being is that the Japanese index did pull off a little bit after what was an enormous run to the upside on Monday. It's natural. It's trading at very high levels, and you're going to have to watch Japan. Jumping into Japan on the long side and adding more Japan to your portfolio, whether it's through an ETF like EWJ, or a world ETF called EFA, where basically 24% of EFA is made up of Japanese stocks. It might be a little bit toppy at this juncture. You're going to want to not time it, but you're going to want to be very prudent about putting risk capital to work on the bullish side in Japan. Be aware, keep watching. We'll start giving you some insights on that. Taking a look at China, though, the Shanghai Composite has been, let's just say, on the downside, firmed up overnight, did finish the session up about almost 2 points at 190, but it's been trading to the downside. A lot of pressure, a lot of uncertainty on whether or not the mainland government is going to clamp down on lending standards, as well as the leverage that traders have been using in the markets. With that being said, you're seeing a lot of outflows into Hong Kong. Specifically, you're starting to see that financial and property names, as well as some energy names in Hong Kong, are benefiting from an outflow into the Hong Kong markets. You see that the Hang Seng finished up 311 at that's good for about 1.27% pop to the upside. And these are levels that the Hang Seng hasn't seen since 2015. So we're starting to see these Asian indexes hit highs that we haven't seen in 2 to 3 years. We saw a similar move on Monday in Japan. So there's a lot of positive upside in Asia, in Japan, Hong Kong, And we're starting to see India, though, which has been the darling of Asia, been consistently moving to the upside, not much uncertainty. Well, now we have this consolidative action going on. The Sensex did finish up 710, but you can see clearly from this chart right here that over the last couple of weeks, it's been in an extreme consolidative range. It's range bound. In other words, they have a defined top and a defined bottom. And as a matter of fact, we use the 20-day moving average, the 50-day moving average, and the 200-day moving average as either support or resistance levels. If the price action of the stock or the underlying index or ETF is above these lines, these are now support levels. Just a little technical analysis 101. This is to give us context of who is in control. Are the bulls in control, or other people that believe that the market's going to continue to go up, or are the bears, people that believe the market's going to continue to go down? Right now, clearly in India, like we saw in Hong Kong, we saw in Japan, the bulls are in control. But we're not seeing that type of control in China. As a matter of fact, you're seeing that in the Chinese markets, the bears are in control. So very interesting activity in Asia, very mixed. Want to keep my powder dry here. Not looking to add to any exposure if I do to the Asian region. Looking for more of a pinpointed area where we can get some more defined data that's really going to tell us where are the catalysts that are going to get the bulls kicking up in China and give the next leg up in the other Indian, Japanese, and Hong Kong areas. All right, folks, that is it right now for the overnight action report for Asia. We're going to be jumping on in about 15 minutes at 8:45 Eastern Time. I'm going to be going over everything in Europe, and there's quite a bit of activity now that we have the French elections done. We're going into the German elections next month and the snap elections in the UK. A lot of political activity going on. That means there's some potential volatility in the markets. Stay tuned here at MarketStream.live.